Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good week so far. I don't know what my hair is doing right now. It kind of looks like Tintin. So, an athlete had reached out to me, and it's an athlete that I know that is working with Craig. And we were talking about nutrition. And I thought this might be a good recap or kind of circling back on a video from a long time ago because he said that he was listening to an old podcast where I was talking about things that I buy at the grocery store, what to eat. And the biggest thing that he has been trying to do, he's one of their goals is losing weight, and he doesn't feel like he's losing it fast enough. He wasn't sure if he was doing the right thing, and he said, I got on a new diet. I just want to talk to you about this real quickly. So we chatted for like 5 minutes, and the biggest thing that he said was, so I've switched to a diet that's high protein, low carb, and I'm waiting for the foot to drop. And he said, and man, I'm really starting to struggle on the bike. So we all know this is basic science is carbohydrates are what fuel riding a bike when you start going over tempo, let's say. And if I did low carb eating, pushing tempo, the higher the RPE is higher. So carbohydrates are massive, especially for people in North America right now and Europe where it's summertime. You might be racing. You are probably doing hard group rides. You're doing maybe some hard training sessions. You need carbohydrates. This video is not about that though. This video, I said, hey, one thing that might be beneficial for you is to do an audit on the foods you're eating. So simply asking yourself, is this helping me reach my goals of number one, losing weight, and number two, staying fast? It's hard to cut during a period where you are training for a big race, but he's not doing that. And weight loss is a high goal for him, the top goal for him. So I said, I don't like calorie counting for a number of reasons, but the number one biggest one is I don't believe that our body is simply X calories out, X calories in, and it's this perfect number. I think you either end up overeating or you end up underfueling when your body might be rebuilding and recovering. And we all know that sometimes you have like one of those super hard days or you're finishing a hard week, you go to sleep and you wake up like ravenous. And I don't know, something's going on in your body. And it's like, I need more food. So I said, go and use like MyFitnessPal or something like that, where you will be able to look back over the last 7 days. So for the next 7 days, log everything that you eat. Not only will you see your caloric expenditure, let's look at your macros. How, you might look through and be like, wow, I have way more fat in my diet than I ever realized. Unless you are extremely in tune with foods, this is not me. I wouldn't be able to go through a day eating and know exactly or really closely, like I guess I would know my macros because I'm just high carb naturally. But if you're trying to lose weight and figure out where can I lose the weight, having everything written down, like the day is a long time. You might look back and be like, wow, why did I eat that thing at 10 a.m.? I didn't really need to eat that. And you're also going to see portion sizes. It's just a very educational experience. And then I went to the grocery store and he had mentioned that shopping video. And so I had gone to the grocery store last week, 2 days ago. And I thought, man, this would be a good video just to run through because I bought a lot of stuff. There are a few things that I didn't need, but I just want to share what I'm buying and why. And some things have recently come back into my diet. The first thing on the list is actually orange juice and kombucha. I've joked because I got sick on kombucha one time before a time trial and I was just sick. We'll leave it at that. Still got in the top 10, but had nothing for the rest of the stage race, which was a disappointment. But small amounts of kombucha, I like that. And Chris is not really down with us having that SCOBY in the house. And it's just, I can never get kombucha as fizzy as GT's, so I just buy it. Orange juice, high calorie for the drink, but it's a ton of vitamin C. So I enjoy really Florida fresh squeezed orange juice. It's amazing. Huge on the veggies. When I talk about carbs, people sometimes think carbs have to be processed. Some people, the first carb they think of is like pasta. If I think carbs, I'm really more thinking rice. I'm thinking fruit. I eat a lot of fruit. And the reason I like fruit is there's water in it. It's sweet. I grew up as a candy junk head. And so it's really enjoyable to eat. There's so many ways to enjoy fruit, but then also I've really grown to love vegetables. So the things I'm going to highlight on here are, we'll just run through the list. It's not that long. Orange juice, kombucha, red pepper hummus. So we'll get to something, but there are these like bread to dip in. If you get fresh bread, try not to get processed stuff in your bread. Try not to put sugar in your bread. You really have to go to a really nice grocery store, or you need to go to a bakery if you want to eat good bread. Jalapeno hummus. Chris likes ham. I'll eat that and get some without any like nitrates or weird preservatives. This stuff from Whole Foods is pork, sea salt, and what's the other ingredient? It's not sugar. It's the closest real meat that you could find in deli meat. Still probably not the best option, but he likes it, and I'll make a sandwich every once in a while. Chicken breast, pugliese bread, pugliese, I don't know, super fresh and good. Pico, guacamole, make sure there's no weird stuff in your guac. Baby spinach, red bell peppers, heirloom tomatoes. Those have been in my Instagram pictures. Those colors are insane. More heirloom tomatoes, strawberries, blackberries, which are expensive as hell, but I really like them. Bananas, always, grapes, and apples. And then the things that I might get that are not on this list, popcorn that is, whatever it's called. It's not called popcorn on the ingredients. Like, what is that? Yeah, organic corn, sea salt, and olive oil. Rice cakes, where it's just brown rice. And there's thin Triscuits that is just wheat and olive oil. And if I'm going to get guac, sometimes I'm going to get chips. I usually don't buy chips because I can't not eat the whole bag. So I'm going to get them if we're going to have like a couple long rides. And also, if I just want a treat, I'm going to eat chips as opposed to other things I could put in my body that I'm trying not to do. I think it's important to highlight, you need to remember that we are human. We are not robots. If you want to have longevity in this, if you want to go have some ice cream, if you want to go do something, you are the boss. Go do what you want to do. Ask yourself, is this helping me get to my goals? Sometimes the answer is yes. You're like, man, I really want this. The thing I think that you should try to avoid doing is, there is definitely, at least in my circle of growing up cycling, it was, if you go on a long ride, you can come home and eat anything. So that's what I did. I came home and I bought pizza and I bought this and I bought that. I'm like, well, I went on a 5-hour ride. I've talked about the math before. Even on really long bike rides, if you're fueling properly on the ride, you don't get to eat whatever you want if you want to be your best version of a cyclist. And maybe you don't, and that's fine. If you want to ride to eat, go for it. I'm talking to the people that want to become the fastest that they can become. And also the people that have to lose weight. Don't sabotage a 5-hour ride by coming home and eating like a dump truck. Simply said. So do an audit on yourself and look back and ask yourself, is this helping me get to where I want to go? And sometimes the bowl of ice cream is, yes, it is. It's making me happy. Go for it. If it's not, if you don't get that much joy from it, cut it out of your diet, And it's really interesting to look back on the things that you eat throughout the day. I was, even the people will talk about when you have to actually log it, it's like, do I want to eat this? So log it before you eat it. You might be like, damn, this might not be worth it. And then the last thing I still will always talk about, I can't see myself going back, but Craig, over a year ago, I'd have to look back at the dates, challenged us to reduce our sugar intake off of the bike to less than 10 grams a day. I just cut it out. It was a weird 2 weeks as my body weaned off of it and my power was off. I talked about that. It was not pretty. Boy, I lost probably 3 pounds. My body changed from that. My cravings changed from that. And that's what really inspired me to go away from preservatives and any weird chemically ingredient. Sure, is it going to get in there every once in a while? Yes. But looking at the label, I should look. I'm trying to think of things that I used to like that I don't buy anymore. But if I don't know what it is, I'm trying not to eat it. And I just feel much more stable throughout the day, whether it's in terms of hunger, whether it's in terms of like my appetite for what I get hungry for, and just how I feel. So fake stuff, bad; natural stuff, good. And then when you're on the bike, that's another thing. Eat the treats on the bike. So hopefully this is helpful. Put your nutrition tips below. If you nutrition is a huge part of this game. So make sure you're fueling for your rides, recovering properly. Your training is going to skyrocket and your results will too. Good luck.